Welcome to Nabeel Math Academy. This is Dr. Mohammed Nabeel. In this video, we are going to discuss about the partial derivative. So first of all, we have to know when we have to use the partial derivative, when you have to use the ordinary derivative. When you have only one independent variable, x, so we will use the derivative of this function. It is y prime, which is equal f prime, or we can say it is dy over dx. The ordinary derivative, what we studied in our calculus 1. So whenever we will have one independent variable x, therefore we use the ordinary derivative. This is the ordinary differentiation. This is the ordinary differentiation. Now let us go to the next one, which is a partial derivative. What is a partial derivative? When you have a more than one variable. If you see the xy here, the independent variable is two variables, x and y. Whereas in the ordinary, you will have only one independent variable. That's why we will use the ordinary derivative. Now here we are using the partial derivative. What is the partial derivative? Dou z over dou x. Z is differentiate with respect to x. When you differentiate with respect to x, the y becomes a constant. Or we can denote this as fx. Both are same notation. Similarly, when you differentiate with respect to y, dou z over dou y equal fy. So this is the partial derivative. So here, if you see this one, the variable, what is the variable you have? Y is a function of x. Only one independent variable, we are using the ordinary derivative. Here, if you go through this one, the z is a function of x and y, which is a more than one independent variable. That's why we are using the partial derivative. So using this rule, as you remember in the calculus 1, we have this formula. So using this definition, we will get it all the derivative formula. So similarly, we will have this one. This is the definition of the fx and fy. Let us take an example. To understand this one clearly, I will solve this one. Now, we will find the derivative of this function. So find y prime or dy over dx. If you see this one, you will get only one variable, the x. Now how will you differentiate? Y prime is equal, differentiate with respect to x, 4x power 3 plus 6x minus 7. The constant becomes 0. Now what is the second derivative? Y prime, which is again you have to differentiate this part. So you will get 12x square plus 6. Again, you have to differentiate the successive derivative. What is this one? Y triple prime, which is equal 24x. Now, again, if you differentiate, you will get the fourth derivative, which is equal 24. After that, all the derivative become 0. So, this is the ordinary derivative. Why? Because we have only one independent variable, x. Ordinary differentiation. Now let us go with the partial derivative. So if you see this example, find fx. The z is a function of x and y. So we have to use the partial derivative. What are the things we will calculate here? Dou z over dou x, dou z over dou y. So we have to calculate these two things. Now I will calculate the first one, dou z over dou x, or you can write it this one as a zx. It means that z is partially differentiated with respect to x. Now one more thing here, when you differentiate with respect to x, the y is a constant. The another variable, the y is a constant. When you differentiate x, you will get 2x as it is. The y is a constant. It is in the product. It is in the product. Therefore, it is a y is a constant. Plus, now we are differentiating with respect to x. Therefore, you will get what here? 8x. So, this is 8x. Now, the next term plus, what is the derivative of this one? There is no x term. So, the y is equal 0. Y is a constant, which is 0. Because we are differentiating with respect to x. Plus, differentiate with respect to x, we will get 10. Here there is no x term, 0. There is no x term, 0. So it is 0 plus 0. So final answer is equals 2xy power 3 plus 8x plus 10. So this is the final answer for the derivative. Now I will calculate the similarly with respect to y. When you differentiate with respect to y, the is x is a constant. The another variable, the x, which is a constant. So I have to differentiate this with respect to y. So when you differentiate with respect to y, the y becomes what? This one. It is 3y power 2. The x square is a constant as it is since it is in the product. Is it right? Plus, we are differentiating with respect to y, the x is a constant. Therefore, this term which is 0 plus we are differentiating with respect to y. Therefore, here it becomes 10y. And here there is no y term plus 0. Here there is a y term which is equal 7. The constant it becomes 0. The final answer it will be 3x square y plus 10y minus 7. So this is the partial derivative and this is the ordinary derivative, ordinary differentiation. So this is the example we have taken. Let us solve some of the more problems in this one. So here, after calculating the partial derivative, you have to substitute the value of x equals 2 and y equal 1. So first you have to calculate the fx, first derivative, partial derivative with the respect to x. When you differentiate with respect to x, the function, so it becomes 3x square plus, and this one which is what? 2x, and since the y is a constant, therefore I write it as it is, y power 3 as it is, the constant. Now we are differentiating with respect to x, therefore there is no x term, the last part will be 0. So this is the final answer you will have. Fx of x comma y, which is given by 3x square plus 2x y power 3. Y power 3. Now I just substitute the value. X will be replaced by 2. Y will be replaced by 1. So what happened here? So it becomes 3 times of 4. 2 square 4. 2 into 2 into 1 power 3. So this is equals 12 plus 4, which is equal 16. So this is the fx of 2 comma 1. 2 comma 1. Now similarly, I have to calculate with respect to y. With respect to y. So how will you calculate the y? Fy is equal Fy. So differentiate this one with respect to y. So there is no y term in the first term, 0. Plus x square is a constant since it is in the product. Therefore, the y is 3y square minus, here with respect to y, it is 4y. It is 4y. Now what is the value we will get it? Here it is x, 3x square y square minus 4. Now replace x and y. What is the x value? X value will be 2, y value will be 1 here. Now if I replace that one, you will get what? 3 times of 4 into 1 minus 4 into 1. So which is 12 minus 4, which is equal 8. So this is the partial derivative at a point, fx fy of 2 comma 1. So if the value is given up to the fx, you can stop here. This is the derivative is over. Now if the question is asking at the point, you have to substitute the point. X and y replace, you will get the value here. Now we will solve more problem. So here you have to find the first derivative of the function. So it is a first derivative. What do you mean by first derivative? This is the function g. You have to calculate gx and gy. So how will you calculate? Since it is a trigonometry function, you will have gx. What is gx means? You have to differentiate only x. Since it is in the product, therefore it is a constant. Sin y is a constant. The differentiation of x is 3x square. 3x square. That's it. So this is the final answer. So 3x square sin y. This is the gx. Now calculate the gy. You have to differentiate this one with respect to y. When you differentiate with respect to y, x is a constant. X power 3 is a constant. It is in the product. Now the differentiation of sine, it becomes cosine y. cosine y. So final value will be x power 3 y cosine y. Since the value is not given, you have to calculate only gx and gy. That's it. If it is the x and y value is given, you have to substitute that value. Here also the same thing. What is this here? Z. Z. Z is a function of what? So x and t. You have to calculate the zt and zt and zx. This is the partial derivative. Whenever you will have a two variable, you have to use the partial derivative. Now what is the with respect to x? First, here you have a chain rule. First you have to differentiate the length. What is the length differentiation? 1 over x plus t square. The length is over. Now what is the derivative inside? Inside, if you go inside, it becomes 1 plus t becomes 0 because we are differentiating with respect to x. So the value will be equals 1 over x plus t square. That's it. So this is the dou z over dou x, or is dou x we can say. And similarly, dou t, we will go with the dou t. So dou z over dou t, zt is equal. First you have to go with the length. What is the chain rule? 1 over x plus t square. Length is over. Now what is the differentiation of this part? So it becomes 0. The first value is 0. The x value will be 0. The 2t square, it becomes 2t. So final answer 2t over x square plus x plus t square. X plus t square. So this is the d dou z over dou t. The first derivative. Now we will solve this one. So here you have to calculate f is a function of x and y. So you have to use the partial derivative. So I will calculate the f x y. So f of dou f over dou x, or we can say fx. Both are the same notation. So we have to differentiate with respect to x. Now here you have to differentiate the chain rule. What is the first one? First you have to differentiate the sign, but then inside. So first if you differentiate the first part, sign differentiation, it become a cosine x over 1 plus y into dot product. This is the chain rule. What is the differentiation of this part with respect to x? With respect to x, x become 1 plus y. So this is the final answer. This is the final answer. Now similarly, the next one, dou f over dou y. What is dou f over dou y? Dou y here. Now differentiate first with respect to x, the sign. What is the sign differentiation? Cosine x over 1 plus y. This is done. This part is done. Now we have to go inside. When you go inside, x is a constant because it is in the product. Now what is the derivative of 1 over x, which is what? Minus 1 over 1 plus y whole square. Is it right? So this is the same differentiation what we have y prime. So what is the derivative of this one? X power n into x power n minus 1, right? Root x, what is root x? 1 over 2 root x. What is 1 over x? So it is minus 1 over x square. How it comes? Just move it this one up, x power minus 1. Many students will write it len y. It is not len y, it is an integration. We are differentiating here, right? So if you apply this rule, you will get minus 1 over x power 2. So this is the same formula we are using here. Now we will take the next. What is the first and next one? Multiplication. Just multiply. What is the multiply? Fy is given by minus x over 1 plus y whole square into cosine x over 1 plus y. So this is the final answer. So we cannot simplify since the value is not given, leave it as it is. Now here, what is the difference between the last problem and this problem here? So here the function f F is a function of how many variable? X, Y, Z. So you have to calculate Fx, Fy, Fz, right? So let us take this one. So what is the first one? Fx. When you differentiate with respect to Fx, the Y and Z is a constant. So here Z is a constant, it is in the product, so I keep it as it is, no change. Now differentiate only this part. What is the differentiation of this one? With respect to x, first you have to differentiate the e, but then here. This is a chain rule. E power x is e power x as it is. When you differentiate inside the chain rule, what is this one? With respect to x, x become 1, you will get y. It become y. This is a chain rule. This is a chain rule. Now this is the value for fx. fx. So this is fx is given by y e power x y e power xy into len z. It is equal len z. This is the value. Now similarly we will calculate fy. What is fy? When you differentiate fy, the x and z is a constant. So here len z is a constant. Keep it as it is. Now differentiate with respect to y. So e power chain rule e power xy is e power xy. When you differentiate this part, the y become 1 x into x. This is a chain rule. Now what is the final value? It is equal x e power xy len z equal len z. That's it. Now the last one f is z. What is f is z? When you differentiate f z, the x and y is a constant. So here we will get the e power xy. There is no z term, is a constant term. Now you have to differentiate only the z term, which is the len z. What is the len z differentiation? It is equal 1 over z. 1 over z. So final answer, it will be fz is equal e power xy over z. That's it. This is the final value. Now here the next one is the higher order derivative. All this one we will calculate the higher order. So what is the partial derivative in the higher order? We will calculate it here. So as we know, this is the f. Z is a function of x and y, two variable. So this is the first derivative. When you say fxx, fxy, fyy, therefore it is a second derivative. This is a 2 times. This is second derivative. Now if you go with this, similarly, this is the third derivative. xxx, xxy, xyy, yyyy. And by the way, either you can calculate fx or fyx, both are same as per the rule. We will find it here. Now let us go with this one. In order to calculate the second derivative, first you have to calculate this one, the first derivative. Then only you can calculate this one. So let us check how we will calculate the second derivative using this problem. So this is fx. What is fx? Fx. So the derivative is here 3x power 2. So differentiate with respect to x plus 2x or the y power 3 is a constant since it is in the product minus 0. This is 0. There is no x term. This is 0. Fx. This is done. Now we will calculate the fy. What is fy? Fy. Fy. What is fy? Differentiate with respect to y. There is no y term, 0. The next term, it is x power 3 is as it is 3y square. The last term 4y. So what is the answer here? 3x square y square minus 4. This is the x and y and x fx. Now in order to calculate the fxx, take this one and differentiate again with respect to what? Again with respect to what? X. So if you differentiate again with respect to x, you will get what? This is 6x. X become 1, you will get 2y power 3. 2y power 3. Now similarly, if you want to calculate the fyy, how will you calculate? Fy again y. So you have to take it fx and differentiate with respect to y again. So what happened? Here it becomes this one. So 3x square differentiate of y, it is 2y minus 4. So answer will be 6x square y minus 4. So this is the fyy. This is fyy. Now the next one is a very interesting. What is that one? Fxy. How will you calculate fxy? So there is two methods you can do it. One, take y and differentiate with respect to x. Take y, differentiate with respect to x. So what happened here? Differentiate with respect to x. What you'll get? So this is 6xy power 2. That's it. Is it right? So this is the differentiate. Take the fy, differentiate with respect to x. This is one method. Otherwise, you can go with another method as well. What is another method? Fyx. What is the meaning of fyx? Take fx, differentiate with respect to y. So what happens? 0 plus 2x 3y power 2, which is equal 6xy square. So you will get the same order. Same. Now the next problem here, the third or fourth derivative you will have. So whenever you will have the fourth derivative and third derivative, so I will follow a general rule, common rule. What is that one? Here, if you want to calculate the fxxx, this is the third derivative. I will go from left. Well, first I will calculate fx. What is fx here? What is fx? 4x power 3 y power 2 is a constant since it is in the product, minus 3x square y since it is in the product, that is fx. Now calculate the next one. What is fx? X again differentiate with respect to what? Fx. So we are done this. Now we are going to this one. Again differentiate with respect to x. It is 12x square y power 2 minus 6xy. This is done. Now the last one, fxxx. So you will get again differentiate with respect to x. 24xy power 2 minus 6y. Minus 6y. So in this, if you follow this order, easily you can calculate any function. Similarly, I will do the next one. What is the next one here? I have to calculate fx, y and x. So this is a function. So fx is already there. So I copy the same thing. Fx. What is fx? 4x power 3 y power 2 minus 3x square y. So this is done. Now I have to go with y. Differentiate this one with respect to y. So fxy. What happened? It is 2 multiply, you will get 8x power 3 y. So 2y I directly multiply, or if you have a problem with the confusion, you can write it like this, one more step, 2y minus 3x square. This is 1. So after getting this one, multiply, you will get what? 8x power 3 y minus 3 minus 3x square. So this is the value. Now again, last one, I have to differentiate with respect to x. So x again. So differentiate this one with respect to x again. So when you differentiate x, so it becomes 24x power 2 y minus 6x minus 6x. So in this order, you can calculate any order partial derivative. So similarly here, if you have this one, what? It is a fourth order, fourth derivative. So how will you calculate the f? What is f? Fx. So I will go with the from left. Fx. What is fx? Here you have a chain rule. First you have to differentiate the sign, then you have to differentiate inside. So first if you differentiate the sign, it becomes cosine 3x plus yz. This is done. Now what is the differentiation with respect to x? So inside it becomes 3. There is no x term. This is 0. So what is the value? We'll get it. Fx is given by 3 cosine 3x plus yz. Now again I have to do it. This is done. Now I have to move fxx. What is fxx? 3 is a constant. When you differentiate the cosine, it becomes minus sine 3x plus yz into, again inside. You have to go inside. What is the inside differentiation? Which is equal 3. So after multiply, you will get minus 9 sine 3x plus yz. Is it right? The next one here, f. So y, we have to differentiate this one with respect to y. So what happened here? Fxxy. Differentiate this one with respect to y. When you differentiate this one, sine become cosine, positive cosine. Now when you differentiate inside, inside becomes what? What is inside? When you differentiate with respect to z, there is no, sorry, y term 0. Here y become 1, you will get only z. So this is the derivative for the function. Now the next one here will have what? Fxxy, which is equal, multiply, you will get minus 9z cosine 3x plus yz. Now this is also done. The last part we have to go with z. So this one differentiate with respect to z. So when you differentiate with respect to z, therefore you have a two term in the z. You have this one as a u. This is the v. So product rule. So what is the product rule? So this one differentiate minus 9. And this is fixed. This one is fixed. What is this one? Cosine 3x plus z. It is fixed. Plus this one is fixed. Now what is the differentiation of this one? U. This is u v. The u prime v fixed plus u fixed v differentiate. What is the u differentiate? We differentiate minus sine 3x plus yz. When you differentiate inside chain rule, first part there is no z term 0. Second part z become 1. You will get y. So after that just multiply. What is the multiplication? This is equal minus 9 cosine 3x plus yz. So this is the first term. Minus into minus. So multiply these two. It become plus 9z. This is y. I will take it in the front. Sine 3x plus yz. That's it. Thank you. You can find it this PDF file for this lecture in the description box. Thank you.